made my kids some Pupsicles last year, and this year I'm trying some Slurry-sicles. What I did was took some cooked lamb and several vegetables, a little bit of water, I blended it all up together and put it in the ice tray. But the problem was with the ice cube trays, Puddin and Mat ate it really quickly. So I want something much bigger that they'll have to work on for a while. So I tried filling this bowl with water and putting a few treats and dog foods in it. But what happens is either the food kind of settles at the bottom or floats on the top. So when it all freezes, all the food is in one place. I want the food distributed evenly throughout the big chunk of ice. So I'm working on a 7-layer Pupsicle. As you can see, I started out with a small amount of water and a little bit of dog food. And this has been in the freezer for a little while. It's not completely frozen yet. I'm going to let it freeze a little bit more, and then I'm going to put a tasty treat on top and fill it with a little bit more water. Then let that freeze, then put another tasty treat on top of that, and then let that freeze, and so on and so forth. And you can put in here whatever your dog might like. I'm going to put a little bit of baked chicken breast in here for 1 layer. I might use one of the Slurry-sicles for 1 layer. Some pumpkin and maybe a little bit of yogurt. Well, they both have been sitting in the freezer all night after several layers of freezing and layering. And unfortunately, it looked like this one tipped over and spilled into this one. So this one is still pretty watery because the water's been dripping into it all night. This one's mostly frozen, but as you can see, it's a little hollow. I'm going to go ahead and let Mat have this one in his kennel. Then let this one freeze for several more hours, and we'll try to film him outside trying to eat it. Well, it looks like it's just about done. It's not rock solid hard. Probably take a whole nother day, but we're going to give it to Mat now and see how he likes it. I started making this yesterday morning, and now it is the next day about 4 p.m. If you really want to make this look pretty, like for instance if you're doing a dog party or you're giving it as a gift or something, you probably want to take a good full 3 days to actually make the layers more distinct. I did several layers. I actually didn't make sure that every layer was frozen all the way through. I waited till there was a good film on top, then I added the next layer. So as you look at it, you can see that some of the layers kind of blended as it froze. Mat is enjoying it, but he's a little distracted because I gave his siblings some beef trachea. And they're gnawing on that right now. Mat gets this instead because he swallows the beef trachea almost whole. There's Puddin over there munching on hers. Lupe took hers in the house. This would be great to leave in a crate or to leave out for your dog when you leave. Experts say that most destructive behavior happens within the first 30 minutes of the pet parent leaving. And as you can see, if this is rock solid hard, it'll take your dog quite a while to finish it off. And of course, if you leave this in a crate, you'll want to sit it on top of some thick towels or heavy blankets, just in case it melts before they finish eating it. He's already gotten a big chunk out of it. Puddin has finished her beef trachea earlier, so now she's circling Matt like a buzzer. She wants his popsicle. Well, Puddin was able to trick Matt into leaving the popsicle. She took off after some birds or something, and Matt followed. And then, of course, Puddin came back and took over. I'll let her play with it for a while, and I'll see if Matt wants it back. There's a chunk of baked chicken right there that Matt's working at. I had to lock Puddin in the house so he could get back on it. Well, Matt didn't want to stay outside by himself, and Puddin breaks out of the house if I leave her in there. So Puddin has it again. And both Matt and Puddin appear to have gotten through the pumpkin layer, the baked chicken layer, and the yogurt layer. Now it looks like she's on the dog food and the brown rice layer. Well, I'm letting Matt finish it in his kennel. Puddin ran off to chase a bird, and I picked it up for Matt. This way he can finish it without Puddin bothering him. But it's actually too dark to probably see this. This is part of a chicken broth that I made. Matt had a nice big chunk, and Lupe has the second biggest chunk here. And Puddin is enjoying a piece right here.